Why, hello everyone, hello. How you guys all doing today? You guys doing great? You guys doing awesome? You guys doing amazing? Hopefully you guys doing great, awesome, amazing today. We're going to have a really fun one for you guys. We have a unique individual with us today. We have a unicorn. The one and only unicorn, which we're going to get to know a little bit soon because I am really looking forward to how the design came about and get to know them a little bit. It's going to be fun. It'll be cool. Hello, Pasta. It's great to see you. Hello. Thank you for the follow. If you're the Pasta, I think you are, and great to see you again. Thank you. And also, Graham Cracker is also great to see you too. Always love to see you. I'd love it. Cool. Wait, let's see if our guest is ready to get this show started. By the way, I really love my new intro with my little guy just like welcoming you guys with his card tricks and everything like that. I love it so much. Well done on freaking me out. I had a feeling not many people have the name Pasta, so I gotta say. But it's great to see you. Good to see you. All right, let's get the show started. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, how you doing today?
I am good. How are you?
I am good as well. I think it's great to see you. And also, a very rare situation we are in right now. You freaking found a unicorn. Like, this must be my lucky day, right? Man.
The one and only horse. Tis me.
It is you. You are the only one. I gotta say, I'm really lucky. I might have to go to a casino after this. Because I didn't think I was going to find you, but hey, look at you stumbling into my show like this. I love it. I think it's great. Her eyes are up there. I know. I'm looking at a horn. A horn. Look at that. Look how great that horn.
The big pointy thing on my head.
The big pointy thing.
Everyone's looking at.
Yeah, that's what we're looking at. Of course. We're not looking at anything else. What else did we look at? We can look at her glasses. Yes.
My glasses. Yes.
Glasses.
Or
we
my
like her
tail.
Oh yeah, your tail too. Yeah. What else could there be like on her? I don't know. Maybe her star that's on her ribbon. That's also on her shirt. Yeah. But hey,
you're grasping there.
What do you mean? Yeah, we're talking about all the great details about your outfit and design. Nothing sus about this. We don't talk about anything sus on this show. What? Never sus.
We're so civilized.
So civilized. Obviously. But hey, thank you all so much for going in. You are freaking amazing. I always love seeing you guys. This is a fun little VTuber talk show I like to do each and every week. We introduce a brand new VTuber and get to know them a little bit. Tonight, we have another amazing VTuber. How about you introduce yourself to anyone who might not know who you are?
Well, hello everybody. My name is Azure Light. I am a wish-granting unicorn or horn horse, as my community knows me. That is my my shtick. I always call myself a horn horse.
Horn horse, not a unicorn, a horn horse.
Yeah, I mean, I started with unicorn, and I honestly don't even know where the origin of horn horse just came out. But I just came up with it one day, and I'm just running with it now.
You know what? Fair, very fair. You are the horn horse. You are not the unicorn. Horn horse. Love it. Well, hey, Azure Lane. Yes, Azure Lane. Do you play Azure Lane?
No. I've heard of it though.
It's like a mobile game.
Oh yeah. Does it have hot anime waifus?
Maybe.
as they do.
Maybe.
Is it a ship game? Is it like a battleship?
I think it's a battleship game. Yeah, I think it's like they turn all the Navy ships of all across the world, like famous ships, and just turn into hot anime girls.
Yeah.
And
lolis.
No,
I've never played that.
Why am I not? I didn't do anything wrong. I'm just talking about ships. What's wrong with talking about ships? Ships.
Yes.
Talking about ships. Obviously. Nothing sus about the ships. But yeah, no. Although I just heard you say that you grant wishes.
Yeah. I try. It's like, so some of my new lore with this new design, because I actually had a previous design before I moved to this one, but the sneak peek on the lore is like I've kind of forgotten how to grant wishes. Like I can't as easily as I used to, because like self-identity issues.
Okay,
And
okay.
so it's like rediscovering my purpose.
Okay, I
And
like
that
that.
comes with a new design, as they
Yeah.
do in
As you
animes
do,
and stuff.
obviously. Well, if when you were able to figure out how to grant wishes again, I have a wish for you. Okay, you ready for my wish?
Yeah. Let me write it down. I'll put it on a sticky note.
Please. Just put a sticky note, put it on your side computer, just somewhere. I know, nothing too crazy. My wish
Mm-hmm.
is to be able to get my VTuber model rigged and created before the end of this year. That's my wish.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's a big. I might be able to make that happen.
I would
Just for
appreciate that.
you though,
This for
man.
me, you
Don't
know what?
tell anybody.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. When it actually does come out, I'm just going to grant. I'm going to like reach out to you and like shout you out. I'm like, this was made available because of the wish I
I
granted.
want to be in the credits. I want to
Yep.
be in the slides.
Yeah, you
Like
gotta be. You gotta be. You're just gonna be on my lore now. It's just like everything was going on until
until
we
one
got a
day.
wish from a one-horn horse, and then they granted my wish and made things work reality. It's gonna be best origin story. I love it. Well, hey, for those who at home who do not know what this is a fun little VTuber talk show I do where I ask 15 questions to get to know our lovely guest Azure right here. And we'll be asking these questions based off of the things that we've asked before in the previous VTuber interviews, but with a little bit of a twist where the customer is actually going to be a little bit different. I don't know why I called you a customer. That doesn't make sense. You're a guest.
Too bad I wasn't going to
Yeah.
say anything.
Yeah, I was well because usually I have a rant, but I know. Do you ever go by scripts whenever you do like presentations or anything like that?
Um, I think it depends on the presentation. Like if it's something that I feel like I know enough about, or like a topic that like I've maybe practiced already or something like that, then maybe not. It also depends on how complicated it is. It is. Like if
Mm-mm.
it's an event or something, I would need more structure or else I'd get distracted.
True. For me, like I can't go by scripts very well. When I say the same thing over and over again, I usually have to like change up a little bit, or else it becomes
Mm-hmm.
really boring to me. And so I've been saying
Mm-hmm.
that for so long, so I like to twist up a little bit. But sometimes when I do that, like I accidentally stumble and say the wrong word, so I apologize. But
That's okay. No,
pretty
no.
much my script is that like we can get to know our lovely guest here, and we're gonna ask him 15 lovely questions. These questions can go into how they first got started. We can get into that model, get to know that kind of process, and we'll get into some fun facts about her and her content creation. So are you ready to get started?
Yes.
Cool. We
Let
got
us
the.
get started.
We will get started, and I will start with some water. Do you have an accent, by the way?
No, I just like to play around with with accents as I discover them.
Yeah, no, like when we first were talking before this, you pretty normal voice, nothing too crazy. And then when we introduced you, you had like a British accent. I was like, whoa, because she's like,
No, it's just a
is
thing
that
I
a
do
character?
to be
She's
funny.
okay, cool. I just want to make sure because I was like, whoa, that's pretty good. You're pretty talented on the British accent. I wish I could do that. And then you pulled it off
Well, thank
again.
you.
Of course. I just thought like, oh man, did I just interview like someone from Europe?
Huh?
No wonder the time
No.
zones were kind of weird. Time zones were kind of weird. But anyway, let's get started with the first question of the night. And what better way to ask the first question is to start where it all began. When and why did you get started with streaming in the first place?
Oh my gosh, why did I start streaming? I'm trying to
Hmm.
remember.
Did you just like
So
pop
I
up and
think
just like start streaming? Like, oh, it's been
I'm
like
trying.
3 years.
It's been a long time. So I want to say I started streaming back in college. I
Mm.
was on our college Valorant team,
Oh, that's
and we
cool.
were
You play Valorant?
playing a game, like an official match, and they were streaming it, and I was like, "Whoa! Like, I wonder if I should stream me playing Valorant." Um, and so I was actually a flesh tuber for like not that long. Honestly, this was back in 2020, I believe. But I started streaming. I bought like a little overlay set off of Etsy and stuff. I had a laptop at the time too, so I was using my laptop webcam. But Yeah, and then I was on TikTok, and then I learned about Vroid Studio, and that is how I got into VTubing.
No, I love it. I love it. I think it's actually really cool. I love how you has ascended to anime stardom. You know, you went from
Yeah.
small laptop face cam to literally anime. You're now anime.
I've been isekai'd into the
Goodness.
VTuber world.
See, that's the dream right there. That's the dream. It took me battles after battles of Truck-kun to not get isekai'd on my end, but now I think I'm going to surrender to him. I think I'll surrender. It's been too long. It's been too long. But no, I still like that. I like that you were like a freaking. She was a flesh tuber. She was a flesh tuber, like myself. But my question now is to you: is that you are a Valorant streamer? Were you like a pro team or something like that?
No, oh no, it wasn't even close. There was a like drama around it too because
Oh,
like so when everyone was kind of like trying out, basically all the girls were just put on a team, but all of the guys got to what was do tryouts and stuff. Like they would put people together into groups, and then they would play a game, and then rankings would change, and they'd play again. But all the girls got put together, even though we were all different ranks, and so it was kind of not great because we would play people who were better than half of our team,
yeah.
and so it
What?
wasn't really competitive and stuff, and it was fun playing with the girls, but it was certainly wasn't the experience I expected from a competitive team just because of that. So we didn't end up doing it again, I don't think, after the season ended.
Wow. So you think they just did that just so like, oh hey, look, female gamers. Look at that, female gamers.
Yeah, I do think so.
That's so lame.
Like some of the higher ranked guys were kind of toxic. Like when we
Ugh.
would do scrims and stuff, they were BMing a lot, and it was like a whole thing. But yeah, so it's unfortunate because I was like, I really liked Valorant, and I kind of had like dreamed in my head that I would be like a competitive esports player, like for like 5 seconds. And then I did that, and
Now you
it
don't want
wasn't worth the
to.
fight for me to try and be like, I want to be on the team because I didn't even like anybody. So it's like, what's the point? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta at least enjoy your teammates. You know, they can't just hop into it and just be like, "You are now a team. Play, be cool with each other." You know.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that feeling. I know that feeling. I'm sorry that you had to deal with that. By the way, kind of ruined a little dream you had.
It was like a 5 second dream. It like I would have had to play a lot more and like take it really seriously, and I didn't know. So
No, no. Who knows? Maybe it actually was for the best. Because maybe it was just like kind of like a glimpse of what it would be like, and it was not what you expected. So it was a good thing
yeah.
you didn't jump all head first into this kind of stuff, which a lot of people do.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a good thing. It's a good thing. And you know what? I think this is more of casual kind of thing. I think you are definitely going to enjoy yourself just being in this chill vibe of like a streamer, instead of being super competitive.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So here's another question for you, okay? So there's actually a conversation I had with a couple of VTubers before then, because we talked about how there's like technically two kinds of VTubers out there. Um,
Mhm.
One, there's the streamer that are very good at the game, like, and most people who watch the streams don't interact with the gamer that much. They just like to watch him stream because he's really
Mhm.
good at streaming.
Mhm.
So that's one kind of streamer. It's just the really pro gamer. He doesn't interact with anyone at all. He's just really good at the game. And then there's the opposite, where the person does interact with the chat a lot, and they do a lot of integrations with chat because they suck at the game and they're not that good at it. So they make up by it by being very entertaining and being very charismatic. Do you think that's true?
Like if we're just talking like on a base level, I would probably say yes. But I also think that streaming is just like way too complicated. I think if we're just looking at, the people who play games, that's mostly their content, right? And I'm not counting gotcha games because that's a whole different breed of gaming. Then I'd say yes. And I would probably put myself somewhere in the middle because
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say that I am a pro gamer. I have my own way of playing games, and it depends on the game. Like sometimes my attention to detail is bad and I miss things, and sometimes I die a lot. but maybe that's just part of the experience. But I like to imagine that I can do a little bit of both. Like, I want people to be able to watch me and enjoy the gameplay and the inner workings of the game as it was made, but also be able to interact with me as well. Like, one of my favorite examples of this, he's not a streamer, but he's a YouTuber, Corey X Kenshin.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like he does a really good job of that. He's also really good at games.
Yeah.
Like, he's really good at games, but he's also really good at having a personality and being really entertaining to watch, because he's also interacting with us, but also interacting with the game that makes it even more entertaining to us. And I would like to be able to do that as well.
That is actually a good point, as you brought up. There is definitely people out there who are able to do both, and those are really rare people. I wouldn't say rare people. I think those are like the real true like prodigies when it comes to like being a content creator and streamer. Just being able to do both. I'm also trying to do the same thing as that kind of situation. But like every game I try and play that's very competitive, I just stop what I'm talking about and just go strictly into the game. But after that, I just started playing more like games where you can pause. You can just pause in the middle of the game and just talk to chat. And there's more like story-based games and kind of stuff like that. That's what I found my niche into, but I'll definitely say I would love it to play some of my favorite competitive games and then being able to talk and then still be really good at the game. So I give you all the props if you want to get into that. I think that'd be really cool.
I'd like to try.
No, 100%.
Sometimes, like I said, like, I'm not super good at games and I do get distracted very easily. So sometimes when I'm playing, I hyper focus on the game and I forget to talk to chat. So that is the hard part. But I think it maybe when I do focus, it honestly makes it more interesting, because it's like, oh, this part's important. She stopped talking. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean, and I totally relate with that. I totally relate with that. So I understand completely. I understand. Well, hey, let's get into the second question then. The next question I want to ask you is, what do you like about being a VTuber gamer specifically?
A VTuber gamer. VTuber gamer. I'm trying to think.
She's super adorable. Look how adorable she is. She's so adorable.
So I think, so the thing I like about, I'm going to answer these in two separate segments. So what I like about being a VTuber, I like the creativity around it. Creating someone that is you, but like a creative heightened version, like someone that you could be, maybe like in a different universe. I don't know. Like there's a lot of creativity behind it. I also feel like VTubing almost brings out your inner child a little bit, because you're this fantastic, like most of the time, like 95% of the time, a VTuber is usually some sort of creature, like fictional creature. And so I think it allows us to like pretend, and I think that's really fun.
Yeah.
In my case though, I don't have like a personality. I'm just myself. I just look like a unicorn. And the thing I like about being a gamer, recently, I actually used to only be a FPS gamer, which meant I didn't really get into story games too much, like anything that required a story, like a campaign. Like, I didn't even play any of the campaigns of the FPS games that I played. It was purely like competitive or just kind of interacting with people online, except for Pokemon.
Except for Pokemon
is the only series that I finished every single time. Pokemon. But so I think the thing, putting those two together, I like being able to express myself creatively through my VTuber, kind of how I see myself. And I see myself as a pink and purple unicorn. And I like being able to create a community of people who see gaming as more than just, for lack of a better word, gaming. You know what I mean? Like, there are stories to be told, there are experiences to have, and I think that's the main thing I like about being a VTuber gamer.
No, and I love that. That's actually really, really cool. I agree with you 100%. The creativity you can actually like create just puts more of like a fun aspects to your streams, and you can pretend to act a certain way that you couldn't really do as like me. You know, like as a flesh tuber, I can't really pretend that I'm a unicorn. You know, unless I tape something to my forehead, which I could probably do.
Hmm.
Probably could do, but I think you probably have a better look at it than I would probably pull off. And that's why well, maybe, you know, who knows. But I just think it's really, really interesting when you have that kind of creativity when you can actually show off when you streams. Because I think one of the cool things about it is that like when people like look through people who they want to watch streams, they get drawn in by the design of the character, and they might like that design of the character because it fits with their niche, the kind of things they're going for. Like I said, I liked your design. I thought it was really creative. I love the colors. I love the galaxy, like Sailor Moon kind of vibe you were going for, and that's why I wanted to check you out some more. So then I started doing research and started looking at your content, and it was pretty chill. So I thought it was really fun, and that's kind of how like VTubers are really cool in that kind of sense. Is that you will look through like whole list of VTubers or streamers, and you'll find something about them that you might like and you think is really cool, and then you go into the streams to see how they actually are. Because there's some people out there that are really cool designs, really cool setups, but then they're kind of like boring to watch or not really that interesting, or they engage as much as you want to. But there's also the opposite, where there's actually people with plain designs, play in like outfits and stuff like that. And when you actually go in and watch them, they are super entertaining, super awesome. I think it's actually really, really cool when VTubers have that as like a creative style to them. And to be able to like, I've seen some VTubers who have so much integration where like chat could literally change the entire model on the spot with like redeems, which I think is so
Hmm.
cool and creative. I like that kind of
Hmm.
style of things. So I think it's actually really cool. I think it's really fun.
Yeah, I'll be able to do that again one day.
One day, one day.
One day.
You'll do it. I know you'll do it. I know like right now you use a PNG, but I still think your design is perfect, and I love that you still have that VTuber aspect to you. I still like believe you're a VTuber, no matter what anyone says. I think it's actually
Oh, thank you.
PNGs are always valid, always valid. 1%, 1%. Now, do you have a model in the makings? Is that like a progressive or?
It is slowly progressing. I've already talked to someone about my VTuber model. So I'm
Oh.
just waiting for them to. I think they have a wait list right now. So, but they're gonna get back to me. So it's very exciting.
I'm excited for you. That's really cool. That's really cool. Kylie Marie, do you know this lovely lady over here?
I do. That is you. If you are looking for another person to interview, I would highly recommend Calla Marie.
Oh.
She is the most totally evilest, scariest squid girl you'll ever meet.
Uh,
She loves horror games.
ooh.
She's really good at playing horror games for some reason. She does
Well,
not get scared.
that's actually really cool. I actually love horror games too, so she seems like a lot more up my alley. And funny you mentioned that because guess what we get to do tomorrow?
Oh, what? You're scaring me. What?
We're interviewing Kylie Marie tomorrow.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't know you guys knew each other. Actually, I did not know you guys knew each other at all. But it looks like you guys do know each other. I think this is really, really cool.
That's so funny. Hi, Calla.
Hi, Gala. It's great to see you. I can't wait to get to know you as well tomorrow, and we're going to gush about your design, like we're gushing about Azur's design right now. And I love it. It's very cool. I'm looking forward to when you actually do get like an actual like model setup. So I bet it's going to fit really well. But do you have any interesting like quirks you might add to your model that kind of fleshes out to your style a little bit, or is this going to be like
Hmm.
I'm magical girl? Kind of sort of stuff.
So I was trying to think about that because I had a model before, that I figured that I will use like on occasion, but like all these expressions and stuff that I got and all of the like animations, some of them I don't use as much as I think I thought I would.
Mm.
And I know that honestly, you're not buying toggles. You're not getting toggles for yourself. It's really for chat, right? That's the thing. So in terms of like, instead of getting more expression toggles, which I am getting a number of expression toggles, I'm getting some like arm toggles. One in particular that I'm excited to try to get. It's funny that you said that I have Sailor Moon vibes because I was thinking I would get like an arm toggle that has like the Sailor Moon pose.
Ooh.
I think that would be super cute and really unique. So, spoilers. But yeah, that's definitely one. Oh, and another one I had on my old model is a wish granting animation with the star. So I will be including that in my new model as well because,
That'd be so cool. That'd be so cool. I can't wait to see it.
continuity.
Continuity. That'd be so cool. I would love to see that. And Kala, what the frick? You bonking me? I didn't do anything wrong. Don't listen to Pasta. I am not into tentacles. Totally not. Totally not.
Not until you see Kala.
Oh, is that going to change? Is it going to change? Like, I wasn't into tentacles until.
Until.
No. What was Pasta saying? Not only people go for the design, but mainly for the interactions aspect of the streams as well. Yes, there may be times when you can't, but I can see the interaction as focus on point for streaming. And I do like the integrations with like some kind of the display because I like non-verbal interactions. You know, I like the idea of like you can say something without actually saying it, and chat will know. Like I could do the whole like. Wait, I'm totally not into like tentacles.
Oh boy.
You know, like you can have those non-verbals, and VTubers can do
Yeah.
that a lot too. I like that. It's really cool. But now I'm at the alternate cap. No worries, buddy. No worries. Still like it. But I still like that. I'm looking forward to meeting you with Callie. But right now, we're going to get into Azur's reasoning why she's the one horn horse lady. And she's the only one. We can get into that a little bit more. Azure is literally so good at how she creates every little bit of her content to be within the theme she's shooting for. Literally a pro. Oh, look at you being a pro.
Thank you.
I love it.
That's
I love
so
it.
sweet. Oh my god, we're crying.
I love it. Hello, Pasta. Welcome back. But no, I still love it. I think Callie is definitely hit that on the nail. I watched a couple of your streams. Totally didn't stalk. Was not stalking. Promise. Totally not. But I was checking out some of your content, and I really like a lot of the work that you put into it, and you do actually have a lot of seriousness to it. Even though, like, I'm pretty sure you have this as more of like a hobby, I still think you do a lot of work into this.
Oh my god, I appreciate that. I'm so hard on myself a lot of the times because like you can't help but compare yourself with how saturated the industry is. But I think me just trying to be more patient with myself and honestly finally having a grasp on the kind of content that I want to make is really helpful. I don't want to spoil that in case you have a question about that later, but yes.
I love it. Well, we'll see. We'll see how the questions go. Actually, one of my next questions I have is one of my favorite questions to ask a lot. And that is, what do you bring to the video community that helps you stand out a little bit? Other than being a wish-granting one-horn horse.
Granting people's wishes. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, totally.
It's funny because my initial, instinct is to say that I don't bring anything new to the community. But I think that just my existence is enough. No.
My existence.
But I mean, I have definitely struggled with okay, what am I contributing as a content creator, to the community, right? And I've definitely gone through different phases of my content, trying to cater to the typical VTuber audience, which is pictures of your model doing things and oh, blah, 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 all that. But recently I've just been kind of trying to just be 110% myself. If this was me, my social media account as a content creator, and I wasn't a VTuber, what would I do? And I think that is the thing that I bring, at least that I think would make people interested in me. Because sure, I am, the one and only horn horse, but I am also a person, and I don't want people to forget that as well. And I think also with this new content that I want to do, that will encourage that, because like if you watch my streams, I am pretty chill. Like this is just kind of how I am on a daily basis, and I don't want to pretend to be someone I'm not, which is a thing that works for people. Like I know that is a core part of being a VTuber, is kind of making this personality that is not 100% you, but that is not me. And I think if I did that, I'd get tired of being a VTuber, but I love being a VTuber because I can be myself, just cuter.
Yeah, it's cute. No, so like I will disagree with the fact that I think the community of VTubers want to be this personality that they portray, because when I see VTubers try to start out that way, so many VTubers try to start out to being a character, be a little bit different than who they really are, and then as time
Yeah.
goes on, they just get tired of it and they just stop being who they are truly. And sometimes, most of the time, they actually get a lot more popular because they have that transparency. They have that, like, you know what, I can relate with this person, you know? Because like look at
Yeah.
a lot of the bigger VTubers who had like that kind of like, this is who I am, I'm this, and then end up just being themselves, you know, like they
Mhm.
still have a theme to themselves, and they do, like, sometimes we'll like talk about like how we've talked about how you grant wishes and stuff like that. We will touch on those kind of things just for fun comedic events, or just for like talking about how unique you are, but we usually go back to like the realism that we are just human beings behind a camera talking to a camera, hopefully people
Mhm.
respond to it, you know, kind of situation.
Mhm.
So I do like that you have that realism, and like how Callie was saying, is that she's very authentic and transparent and refreshing to see, especially into the VTuber community, which I think is a really good positive outcome compared to other VTubers. Because some people try really hard to play a certain character, and I feel like it doesn't work out very well, and they get tired really quickly. They get burnt out really quickly. Doing
Mhm.
it your style kind of makes it so that you'll last a lot longer. You could be more comfortable with yourself, and chat will like that because
Yeah. I like to think. I hope that is my charm point, my charming point.
I think so too. I think so. I think it's really cool. You have a very like soothing kind of like demeanor that you kind of have, where people can like just watch you and just enjoy themselves and relax, and you'll probably be a lot of fun. I don't know what kind of like other than your like normal stuff you normally stream. I don't know if you will go into a little bit more like adventurous kind of territories, like Callie goes into like the horror kind of streams. But we'd love to see you
Mhm.
try and branch out to different kinds of realms of your creativity. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah.
So one day I'll see. I'll see.
One day.
Um, Speaking of one day, what is any games you're looking forward to streaming this year?
Um.
That
So,
was a
oh my
perfect
gosh,
segue,
don't
by the way. That
require
was
me
a
to
really
look at
good
my
segue.
Steam library. But there's this one game that I actually got a key for. I played the demo a while back. It's called Crow Country.
Crow
I'm going to be
Country.
playing that next week. I'm about to look it up because I'm not going to try to describe it because I'll forget like to describe it correctly. Um, let's see, what does it say? It's a retro exploration horror game.
Oh,
And something I think is really interesting is there are two game modes. There's a game mode where you can play with the monsters, and there's a game mode where you can play without the monsters but still get the story. You know, if you don't want that extra layer of
you
terror.
want the horror? Okay.
Um, but it looks really cool. I'm really excited to play it. I really like, now that I've gotten into, like, expanded my horizons for games. It's been really fun finding these like really interesting indie games and being able to play them and explore them. So that is definitely a game that I'm looking forward to. I actually know of that many games that are coming out this year because I guess I
Hmm.
mostly focus on the indie gaming scene.
Makes sense, makes sense. And there's a lot of really good indie gaming scenes. I think the one that everyone's been looking forward to the most is Silk Song. I don't know if you played those kind of games, but yes, that's the one
Yeah.
everyone's looking forward
Wait,
to.
has there been news? Is it gonna come out this year?
No, I'm
Oh, okay.
sorry to
But you
make you
gave me
feel
a
bad.
heart attack.
I know,
No.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry. What I
Oh my
meant,
god. Well,
you got really
okay.
excited.
Well, if you're talking like a game that I wish would come out right now, yeah,
Oh
I'd
yeah,
say Silk
oh
Song.
yeah. What I meant is that like that's one game everyone's looking forward to coming out
Oh
eventually. You
yeah.
know, I wish it was
I just
coming out
didn't
this
mention
year.
it because
That'd be
it's wishful
great.
thinking.
Yeah, that's so great. But like this game's getting so much hype right now. Like And this is still an indie game, you know. Like,
Yeah,
the levels of hype in this game is starting to get to like cyberpunk hype, you know.
I love the Hollow
Hollow Knight.
Knight community. It's so like close and tight knit. It's like big, but everyone it feels small when you're in it.
Mhm.
And it's like everyone just has the same unwavering love for the game and the devs, and we're all just sitting here like, where's Silk Song? We're all ready to buy it.
Yeah, I think can't remember, but there was like some news added to it where like I think can't remember what it was, but I think either it got rated in like Australia, so someone like was like trying to like pretty much like shout out saying, "Hey, Silk Song is coming out so soon, because look, it's getting rated," and everyone else is like, that doesn't really mean anything. Kind of just means that like it's
Yeah.
a thing, but we don't know. We already knew it's a thing. We see all the trailers for it, but we just don't know when it'll be coming out. But it's kind of know that there's still progress going on. Hopefully, something comes out soon. Hopefully. Sorry, I
Hades
burst your
2 is
bubble
out
though.
already. What?
Sorry, I burst your bubble though. You got super excited, and I felt
No,
really bad. You were like, "What? It's
oh, like,
coming
did I miss it? No. I figured I would see something about it, but no.
Yeah, what if
No,
I just told you,
it's
like, what do
sad
you
all
mean? It came
over.
out like last month. What are you talking
I would be screaming. I'd be like, okay, thanks for having me. See you later.
about? Bye.
I have to go hide in my hole and play Silk Song
Silk
until I
Song.
complete it. But
No,
yeah,
no, no.
no, we're still waiting.
But yes, Hades 2 is out on like preview, like pre-alpha.
Yeah.
How's that game going? I haven't really gotten into those are not really my type of games personally. But I do love the visuals. I love the aspects of it. I love how popular it gets because Hades almost got Game of the Year compared to all the AAA titles, which I think is extremely
Yeah.
impressive and definitely recommend like everyone trying it out. And I really hope Hades 2 lives up to expectation.
I think people are liking it. I know there was some like Twitter discourse over the concept art.
Oh.
Like the art for some of the gods and goddesses, but that's just people being stupid.
Oh well.
So, but I
Everyone
think the
has
game
different art.
itself is just as good as the first one, at least from what I've heard. I haven't played it. I don't want to play it because I haven't finished Hades. I feel like it's one of those games that I have to play the first one before I play the second one.
That's a
Like,
long game, and you can like
I
usually
know,
never finish it.
I know.
Like
But I'm determined. I will hold out.
Alright, when you stream it, let me know. Give me an ad beat when you are streaming it, so I can watch you finish it. Okay?
Okay, yeah. You can live through me. You don't gotta play. I'll do it.
Yeah, that's why we
I'll suffer for you.
Why we watch streamers, you know? Like I love the story, the concept, the art, and everything like that. I just don't like the gameplay personally. Like it's a great gameplay. Don't get me wrong. It's not my jam.
Well, that's
That's why I would
understandable.
like freaking. Okay, so I'm gonna rant about something really quick because there's a game. There's a game that has a lot of good gameplay and it's freaking amazing. And it's one of my favorite series of all time. I just can't play it. And I feel so bad because I can't play it. And that is Persona. I am a huge Persona fan. I love Persona series. But they have a dancing mini game that they also have that actually goes into a lot of the story and characters and all the kind of stuff that I want to gush about all the cool stuff they do with the characters. But freaking, I can't play the games. I have the worst rhythm, and I can't do the button stuff, you know? So I want to watch people play it so that I can actually, like, you know, see all the side little things. But there's so many choices you can do, like, and talk to your, like, the characters, and you have different outcomes of what you say. So there's so many things I want to say, but obviously not everyone's going to say the same thing I'm going to say. So I miss out on so much content because I can't play it. But I can't play it because I forget.
Yeah, I tried to get into Persona. It's actually hard.
It is.
Like when I was playing it, it's actually quite hard. And if a game is too hard, I usually like if I don't feel any sort of progression, I gotta stop.
No, I got you. Like, and it's really interesting because we both have the exact same like mindset, which is two different style of games. Like, because for me, I can't play Hades because I think it's too difficult. Like the roguelike kind of like fast paced kind of style. It's too much for me. I can't really play it. I like it a little bit more like a slower pace. That's why I like Persona, because it's a very slow pace kind of game. You don't really have to rush it. You just have to kind of
Yeah.
overgrind, know what you have to do with aspects of like which character can do what.
It's a
So we
little more
both,
strategic.
yeah, exactly. So we both have the same mindset. We just both have different play styles that kind of changes up a little bit.
Hmm.
I like it. I like it. That's so cool. I like that. I like the idea of us being gamers. We both love gaming,
We
but we
are
do
the
have
gamers.
we are the gamers, but we just like different sides of gaming. You know.
Hmm.
It really is cool. So you have a nice, amazing community, and one of the things that aspects about having a nice, amazing community is that you like to treat them well. You want to interact with them, and maybe even play games. Do you have any community events or something you'd like to do with your fans?
Gosh, I should have community events. I haven't had a community event ever, I don't think.
Mhm.
Which is feels so sad to say. Um, but I I don't know. I just have such a hard time. I'm also like pretty busy, like in real life. Um, and I'm trying to make time for me to do other things outside of VTubing. Um, because I think on the time, like when I've let VTubing really consume me, I have gone down bad rabbit holes
Ugh.
of how I feel about it. Um, but I would like to include my community in things. At the very least, I guess I try to like have them like, hey, here are some games I was thinking of playing. Like, which ones do you guys think sounds the most interesting that you would want to see me play? And having community votes on games because I like to do playthroughs. So that is definitely a step in the right direction, I think. And I would definitely like to do more community events in the future. But as of right now, I just until I get my schedule settled and I know that I can make time for it, that is probably as far as we're going to get with community events.
No, I like it. I like it. I think that's really cool, and I would love to see you do that. But also, it is the whole point of community events is to have your community be engaged with it. And I know, like, as someone who is a very small content creator myself, I actually do have a pretty small community. I love my community. My community is freaking amazing. They can be a little sus sometime, pasta, with a lot of the things you've been saying to certain people lately. But I still love them all together because they like to watch my content, so I always appreciate them. But sometimes they're really, really busy, and I can't really have a really good time to interact with them. So when I try to host a community night, usually not going to be as big as, like you would say, a big major community night where you see it with bigger creators. So I just like trying to give back to the community the best way I can, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Trick is a really good game player. A game player? Is that what we call it now? I'm getting
Yeah,
too old. I'm getting
no more gamers,
yeah,
game players.
yeah. It is what it is. Like I'm getting too old for this apparently. Because I remember back in the day we were called gamers, nerds, and geeks, dorks. Now it's gamers because we were cooler. I'm guessing. But now I guess we are good game player. That's definitely gonna trend. We gonna be called GGP. GGP. Is that what it's called? Would you like to be
I'm
called GGP?
confused.
What?
What's happening? Oh, oh, I don't. My brain went bye bye for a second.
Yeah, what
Wow.
happened?
I don't know. I'm so see. I'm telling you, I brain go bye bye.
It's because you have this giant horn on your forehead that like transmit all
It just
your radio signals, and you just
yeah.
picking up your
That's
internet.
I had
So
some interference.
it's an interference. That's why I'm pretty sure what happened is that like sometimes because you walk around and there's so much technology and radio frequencies, sometimes it gets beamed to your head, and then you get like free Wi-Fi, which I feel like is a really good plus for you. I wish I had free Wi-Fi.
You know what? Maybe I just need a satellite.
Hey, just put it on your
Just put
put on
a
your head.
satellite dish on my head.
Just put a satellite dish so that we can get free Wi-Fi. You know how expensive Wi-Fi is nowadays? Oh my god, it's so expensive.
I don't even get it for Wi-Fi that isn't even that great.
Friggin' jeez.
Honestly,
Like
I only have Spectrum.
man, I'm so weirded out because like I feel like I have good internet, because where I want to live would have good internet. And so far, I feel like I have good internet. But it's so weird because even though I have pretty good internet, like I'm in a part of a city. Keep in mind, a city that apparently I can't get like delivery of like GoPuff or like Dash and Go. I'm
It's
like out,
weird, like
which even though like
the
I can like walk across the street and get like an Arby's. You know, it's like why
yeah.
is this out of reach? This
I
makes
don't
sense.
know, man. I don't know what they use to determine those things, but it can be very frustrating because you're
Right?
like, but I'm in a good
Hungry.
place. What do you
I'm
mean?
hungry.
There's
I don't
tons
know
of
why.
people here.
I'm hungry. I want to relax. That means just get my stuff. Just get my stuff. Nope. Nope. Because I'm out of the range. But yeah, definitely next time I see you, get that satellite dish. Okay? I want to pay for cheaper internet.
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
gonna log in your Wi-Fi.
I'll have a hat.
One horn, horse.
Satellite dish hat.
Yep, satellite dish. I want to see. Me and Trick did play Call of Duty a while back. Yeah, of course, because I like to give back to my community and play with you guys every now and then. And we did play COD, and I sucked at it because I haven't played COD in a very long time. But it was fun. It was really cool. Like I'll play games that I suck at it. I used to play Super Smash Bros. All the time. I love Super Smash Bros. It was great. But you kids are way too good at video games nowadays. Like what the frick?
Mm-mm.
I remember going to my ex's house, and I would go meet this kid, and this kid would be like, "I play Mario Kart." They're like, "Oh, I remember playing Mario Kart when I was a little kid. I can totally play with you. Just be warning, I've been playing it for a while." And this guy freaking overlapped me so many times because he had like all these tricks and turns that I've never even heard of. I'm like, how can you be this good? And then I realized, oh,
Exactly.
that's all he does. He literally comes back from school and plays video games while I have a job, errands, and take care of family and stuff like that.
People who are really good at Mario Kart scare me, honestly.
They're really scary.
Like, there's just the mechanics for that game are just out of my control. I do what I can, but no.
I know how to drift. That's all I know, and I know that's
Oh,
like the
yeah,
main
yeah,
thing. That's
yeah,
it.
drifting. That's
Yeah,
it.
that's it. No, I got you. Well, hey, let's get into the one thing that a lot of people love to get into, and that is your model. Let's get into the thoughts. One of my best questions to ask is, what's the thoughts that went into you design your model? Because before we streamed, you mentioned that this was completely your customization. It was all you.
Yes. Okay. So I let me see if I can find you a picture of my old model. So I think one of the things that I definitely was thinking was I wanted something more modern. Because my original design was very magical girl. Like it's a big poofy dress. Hang on, I'm gonna find it. But I was like, I want to keep, and I also wanted to keep the consistency of the branding, right? Like I wanted to keep the pink and purple. I wanted to keep the curly hair, and the kind of, I'm not sure how to describe them, but I want to call it like the iridescent coloring of like the skirt and stuff. I'm still looking for this picture. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I'm gonna put this in here. So something a little bit more modern.
Okay,
and I
okay.
think that's just because I have changed and my style has changed. And don't get me wrong, I love my old design. I love it. It's very beautiful, very pretty, very, cute, magical girl, like very elegant, right? But I think that now I wanted something a little bit different, something that fits who I am now, because I've been Sorry.
That was an old person's
I'm
design.
a three-headed dragon.
You no,
Rah.
that was a previous person on my show. But no, this I was actually going to ask you if you're okay with me showing it.
Yeah,
Probably
of
should have
course.
asked that before then.
No,
I need to ask.
it's fine. Yeah.
All right, cool. That's
fine, yeah.
I'm always afraid of going like, oh yeah, here's the design. They're like, that wasn't supposed to be revealed yet. I'm
It's
like,
a surprise. No. No, this was my old design. Which this took a lot of blood, sweat, and tears too, because my previous designs that I had before, I was a Vroid I had a
Mhm.
Vroid model, so I had a 3D model. So the concept was completely different with this 2D model. The only thing I kept was the pink and purple hair. But as you can see, just by looking at the two, the colors are way more saturated on this new
Yes.
design that I have now. Like they're way deeper, rather than being pastel.
Mhm.
But it's still bright, like cotton candy, like very clearly cute. But they give off different vibes, and this vibe I liked a little bit better. Like as you can see, I've actually integrated more of that like dark purple, to kind of give more of that celestial, like outer space feel.
Mhm.
And yes, there were some inspirations taken from Sailor Moon, like the star in the place of a brooch, and the skirt, and probably also the gloves. But they're not really gloves; they're like armbands. I don't know. But so yeah, those are a couple of thoughts. Oh, and the other thing was funny too with this 1.0 design is I didn't have ears. I did not have these fluffy ears
What?
before.
No fluffy
I know, right?
ears?
No fluffy
Oh
ears.
my god.
Even though
Fluffy.
my friend who's helping me design, she's like, "What if we added ears?" I was like, "No, I don't need ears." And then we ended up adding the ears later on. And then when I was doing this, I was like, "You know what? I think I need a tail." And I think adding the tail and the ears really kind of makes me look different. I also don't have typical horse ears, which is the other thing too, which I see a lot of unicorn VTubers have. They have like typical horse ears. These are not horse ears, even though I call myself a horn horse.
Not
So
a
I
horse.
think that's a couple of things. And then in terms of like motifs, so like the cutout at the top, it looks like a star. The star that I
Mhm.
have, I call it a wish star. You can see the wish kind of crystal is present in many different places of the outfit, like the hair clips, the brooch, the necklace, and then also on the waist. You can't see the bottom of my design. It's not really anything crazy. It's just actually wait, no, I'm gonna pull up my ref sheet. Hang on, I'll send that to
Oh
you too.
snap! Oh snap!
I kind of want to send you this one. I did the graphic design for this ref sheet, and I don't get to use it that often.
Hey, go for it.
Oh, and the other thing, reason I
Oh.
cut my hair, is I cut my hair in real life.
Oh. Okay. So
My
you used to
hair
have
is
long hair
short
and
and
now short.
curly.
Oh.
Yeah, and I'm gonna keep it short. So I think, like I said earlier about my VTuber just being me, but cuter, or just anime. I really want to feel like it is me. Like all I had to do was make a couple changes. Like I bet I could make that outfit, if I tried, and I could dye my hair pink. I wanted to dye my hair pink at one point. Um, but and the heart glasses. I have heart glasses in real life too.
I was
That's
gonna
a
ask
thing I
about
get.
that because you do have a lot
Yeah.
of like art of yourself with those art glasses. I'm like, I wonder why she loves the art glasses so much.
Yeah, those I have heart-shaped glasses IRL. I get a lot of compliments on them, and I just feel like they're super unique too, to myself and also to my design. And I'm actually really impressed with myself and how everything ended up flowing together, concept-wise. But I think those are just a couple thoughts that I was thinking of. I actually didn't realize how much I saturated the colors until I started seeing
Then you
people
start
draw it.
looking.
But it works. I
Yeah,
think it works.
I like it. I like it a lot. So let me just double check really quick. So the one you're using right now to talk to us with, that is your
Mm-hmm.
most recent model
Mm-hmm.
design,
Mm-hmm.
and this is your original model design right here in the
Yes.
middle.
Yes.
Cool. And the one you sent me, is that a even newer model design?
No, that's just my reference sheet.
Okay, cool. So that like it does change as time goes on. So I definitely can see that.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I really do like about your original model design is that if you look behind her hair, like behind her like back, and you see her hair, it has that galaxy style, which I love that it's a galaxy style. It looks really really cool. I like that
Yeah.
behind it like that.
You can't see that as much with my short hair, but I tried to incorporate it in other ways, like in the
the
bodice
ponytail.
and in my tail. Yeah. And in my ears as well. So it's still
Ooh.
present, not as much as it was before, but it's still kind of there, so that it still ties the two designs together.
And I agree. I think that's actually really cool. I like that a lot. Okay, so now with all that said, with all this personality that you put into your design, what is your most favorite part about your design?
Um, Probably the glasses. I
You do
felt
like
like
the
such a
glasses?
genius when I put the glasses on. I was like, whoa, this actually works.
So she fits me perfectly, and also is works perfectly on the model.
Yeah, because it felt like such a simple thing, but it just kind of adds something and it's not too busy. I guess I also like the ears and the tail together. Like I feel like adding that really just you'd be surprised what something so simple can really just add to a design and just bring it that step further.
Yep, I like that. It puts a little more character to it. It puts a little more
Hmm.
character to it. Um,
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. I want to see. I can't wait to see we like go more into that. So I like the progression of people's models designs change up. Like I think it's really cool to see like where they first started to compare to now. Because to
Hmm.
me personally, like I like my character sheet, my model. I think it's like perfect. I love the way it is. But I know for a fact as time goes on, it will alter, it will change, and I'm really
Hmm.
looking forward to that like happen because I see so many people like yourself love the creativity of it just changing over time. And I think that's really cool.
Hmm.
I like it. I like
Hmm.
it. Cool. All right. So now with the next question, this is going to go into something you were briefly talking about a little bit, but we want to go more detail now. That is, what's your lore or backstory?
My lore backstory. Okay. So oh my gosh, that just made me think. This is before I get into it. My one of my friends, the person who helped me do my 1.0 design concept, she likes to tell me that one of her favorite parts of my 1.0 debut is when I did my lore. I did not plan on doing a lore video, but instead I drew out my lore in MS Paint, and
So you just drew it.
she just thought that was the funniest thing ever. It really is silly because it was so scuffed. But basically, um, I am a unicorn that lived with a bunch of other unicorns whose jobs are to grant wishes. And the caveat to that, having that kind of power, is that you can't grant wishes for yourself. Like that is, you can't grant wishes selfishly.
What if okay, really quick, sorry I don't want to interrupt your story, but what if like I was a unicorn power person and you are a unicorn power person and I asked you to grant me my wish and I grant your wish. Does that count?
Yes,
Oh,
that does count.
okay, I feel like
We
solves
can't
it
do
solves the
that
issues. It solves it perfect.
because it's like
Perfect.
we are selfless creatures. Our powers are meant to make the creatures of the universe happy. And also there is a sense of like ethics to the wishes. Like you can't wish for people to die. Obviously, we won't do that. But it's
Can't bring
like
them back to
people
the
who
dead. Can't make them fall in
yeah, we
love with
can't do
you.
that.
You know.
Can't make them fall in love. Like it has to be like you have to really really want to, like, deep in your heart, you know what I mean, like you have to be true of heart, true of self for your wish to come true. um
Really want
Now, I mean, I
five
may or may
thousand
not have granted
dollars.
a couple Genshin wishes here and there, but
But
well, they're very minor wishes, so it's fine.
well, it's minor. You know, we just
It's
want to ride a
minor.
Shogun,
You
yeah,
just want your waifu.
Miko. You know,
But yeah, there is some evil lore that I will not get into for surprises later. But basically, I found myself in a satellite far away from the rest of my kind, with no recollection of who I was, other than that I was a unicorn. Um, and then one day I found a book that helped me kind of rediscover who I was and brought back my memories, and that's where the 1.0 design comes in. And then the lore for my 2.0 design, this one, which I think I talked a little bit about it earlier, but it's basically um, kind of a loss of self and like purpose. Like, even though I know I'm supposed to be granting wishes, I don't feel like myself and who I should be, which kind of plays into the fact that I feel like I've outgrown my 1.0 design. But because I am struggling with my identity, it makes it hard for me to be able to grant wishes. Um, and so by deciding to come down from my satellite, come onto Earth and spend time there and kind of figure out who I am and who I want to be. It is also now a journey for me to rediscover who I am and learn how to grant wishes again.
cool. I like it. You kind of like when we were looking at your picture right here. Like we can definitely see like the differences where you kind of like look very like celestial and like
Mm-hmm.
goddess kind of like queen kind of style of things. And right
Mm-hmm.
now the way you look a little bit more like a rebel. Your
Yeah.
haircut, your shirts looks a little different. You look like you kind of like
I
I'm
do
on
my
a
edgy
quest.
face.
Edgy face, exactly. I love it. I love it, and it kind of shows your growth as a content creator too. So I think
Mm-hmm.
that's just really cool. I like it. I like it. Also, don't forget to drink. Pasta
Oh,
wants you to drink,
drink.
so don't forget to
Oh,
drink.
right. Yes.
We do
I
have
will
hydrate.
hydrate. I
And
will
their
hydrate.
lure and her lure demonstration was so good. I might have to take that inspiration. Just draw
it's
everything in
it's it's
Amnesty.
surprisingly fun, like
Mhm.
just drawing little stick figures
Cool. I think it's
because
fun.
I can't draw.
I can't draw like this, so I know the feeling. Cool. I still like that. That's really cool. That's really cool. I can't wait to see the dark side. Did someone
Oh, thank
finally
you.
figure out a way to make their own wish come true?
Maybe.
Mhm.
Maybe.
Mhm. Well, we gotta stay tuned. We gotta stay tuned. Definitely give her a follow if you guys want to check her more of her stuff out. Definitely check that out. Cool. Okay, let's get into something a little more controversial. Are you ready?
Yes, I love controversy.
Okay, let's get into it then. What's your thoughts on the VTube community at the moment?
Oh my god.
So spicy, I know, so spicy.
I eat drama for breakfast. No.
Oh snap!
Okay.
Didn't know unicorns would eat
So
drama for breakfast. That must be.
I don't
This might be
see
why
like
they poop out rainbows.
part of me wants to be like super unfiltered, but I need to like think kind of as because my initial thought is always like fight. Like I'm gonna fight whatever it is, and that's my initial thought. But it's really about so number one, the biggest thing, there's not enough black representation in the bigger content creators, like at all. Um, I am not really into corporate VTubers, kind of for that reason. Um, there was Sana in Hololive. I think was it the Hollow Council? I think.
Yeah. I
But
remember her.
she
She was the.
graduated,
Yeah.
and I was so sad because it's basically the only darker skinned VTuber in a corporate setting.
Yeah.
And I know that Iron Mouse is Puerto Rican, but I guess it's just not the same. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I like I'm Puerto Rican, but I guess I don't. That is not the part of myself that I resonate with.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I that is so her being there, I guess doesn't do enough for the more marginalized community, which is Black people. And so I feel like there's not enough representation as there should be. I mean, there's tons of amazing Black VTubers, but there's just not enough in bigger settings, and it makes me sad. I also feel like people in the VTuber community are really fake. Like
Oh.
they can be super fake. They're super clicky, super superficial. Like they're very much like you can't sit with us, and people don't know how to talk things out, and so they're like, okay, let me just call people out on Twitter. Like it's just the overall the VTuber community can be super toxic, especially because the VTuber community includes its audience. Because if there's something somebody's going to say about the VTuber community, people who watch VTubers will also be included in that. And those people can be even worse. And so generally, I try to stay out of things unless I feel like it's something I feel really passionately about and I want to create a conversation about, because all I ever want is to create a conversation with people. But unfortunately, a lot of people don't know how to talk about their opinions in a civil way. If they disagree with you, that automatically means we're fighting. And I don't want to do that. We can disagree and we can talk about it. And that's where I want the VTuber community to be, because we all function differently. That's just human nature. But there's no reason why we can't meet in the middle and also just agree to disagree. There's some things we can't agree to disagree about, though. But for most opinions, we could just agree to disagree. But unfortunately, even though all of us are supposed to be adults, not everybody acts that way. And that is why I stay on my corner of the internet and try to create a community where that is the standard. We're here to have conversations. We're here to grow as people, as content creators, and that should be it. And people will do things wrong, right? Like people make mistakes, and that's fine. And it's always about what happens after. And unfortunately, what happens after is not great. People don't want to talk. But that's what I want for my community.
And that's what
That
you
was a
should.
lot.
No, go for it. Like this is. I want you to rant like this. I want you to. So I want you to be passionate about the things you want to talk about. This is one of those kind of like yeah. This this is a safe space where you can be who you want to be and you can say whatever you want. So definitely rant, go for it. We all want to be more interested in what you do and what you think. So we want to hear these kind of things. So that's why no filter. Be who you want to be, and if you this is how you think. I agree. You should definitely think this way, you know? And like you said, there might be some aspects on it that I might not agree with you on. So far, I've agreed with you on every aspect of it, but there might be some things that I might not agree with you on, which I'll voice my opinion, but I'm never going to fight you over it. I'll just voice my opinion on it, and then again, we'll agree to disagree. There's nothing wrong with that. Because I will say this though, like that is a very common problem that's going on in the VTuber community. Oh, Speedy, you want to fight me, huh? Speedy, you want to fight me? You know,
He's hands rated E for
got me.
everyone.
Let's go for it. Just go for it, my friend. And he's amazing. I love Speedy. Speedy can kick my butt all day. He's actually really good at games, so maybe I shouldn't fight him because he's probably going to kick my butt anyway. But anyway,
He's
great
a
to see
pro
Speedy.
gamer.
He's a pro gamer. He's a super pro gamer. Super great. He's been with me for 3 years too, so he's actually really amazing. But going back to what I was saying before, that is actually a very common thing I've been hearing a lot of VTubers talk about, and that is one, more representation of Black culture in the VTuber community. I agree 100%. There definitely should be more out there. I love meeting with so many different people from so many different backgrounds and all their inspirations and loves. And I feel like that should be on the front and center when people talk about their inspirations about their VTuber model. So definitely agree. The other thing I've been hearing a lot about is that the VTuber community and the whole space of VTuber aspects kind of feels like in high school. Like there's a lot of high school drama going around, and I'm over here 32 years old. Like, dude, I've been done with school for 11 years. I don't need to deal with that kind of stuff anymore. Do not need to deal with high school stuff. 11 years ago, I was finishing up college. Still don't want to deal with college stuff. And that's kind of what it just feels like. There's a whole bunch of college students all getting into something that's really fun, but also they're trying to insert high school drama into it. And it's not really my style. So I usually stick out of it. But as you can see, I'm in the VTuber community, but like you, I'm kind of in my own little space. I kind of deal with my own little thing. And I just watch it from outside. It's just that I watch so many VTubers. I love watching and interacting with a lot of VTubers. So sometimes I'll have a lot of VTuber friends who have different opinions with each other, and all I want to do is just support them. I just want to support them.
But I mean, that's the best you can do, is just to support the people you can support. Because I guess at the end of the day, you can choose who's in your space and who's not. And people like that will always exist. Like people you don't like will always exist, and there's nothing you can really do about it. So the best thing you can do for yourself is to just choose who's in your space.
Yep, true. Just move on. Just keep doing what you're doing. If someone likes to jump on your train to hang out and react to you, then invite them on. But then there's going to be people who will stop at that stop. You just have to keep trucking away. I agree. 100%. I like that. Do you have any other things you like to talk about when it comes to the VTuber community?
I guess my more controversial thought is that there are too many VTubers who look the same.
Oh yes,
there are too many VTubers who have the same concept, who have the same color palette, who have the same outfit, and then there's that whole concept of people talking about, oh well, copying. You copy me. Yeah. It's it depends, because my thought is there is an infinite number of possibilities of outfits you could make.
Oh yeah. And
infinite possibilities of hairstyles, colors, concept. Even if everybody wants to be some sort of soccer or something, you could find some way to put a spin on it. You could find some way to make it unique to you. And I'm not saying that, because obviously I'm a unicorn. There's other unicorn VTubers, but I do try my darndest to distinguish myself in some one way or another. Whether it's the fact that I have heart-shaped glasses, or my horn is a crystal, it's which is also based on a Sailor Moon character, or that I have a more modern look. like it's Magical Girl, but like Sailor Moon. And like, you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like people are capable of so much, more diverse designs than they do. And it's frustrating too when you see people who basically look like everyone else get bigger just because of that, you know? But
Mm-hmm.
like I said, I try to focus on my own space. I've tried to let those thoughts go because I spent a lot of time focusing on that. I feel like what I've created is unique, and that is what I try to focus on. But I do think that a lot of people look very, very similar,
Mm.
and I just don't understand why people do that, knowing that that kind of thing exists and there are 50,000 other VTubers just like them who look very similar. I
No.
can't imagine getting compared and like being like someone's like, "Oh, that's not actually them, that's someone else," because we look so similar. I don't want that to happen.
No, I understand. That's kind of difficult as time goes on, as VTubers become more and more popular. By the way,
Mhm.
hi Husky. It's great to see you. Love seeing you. I'm actually another person who I'm going to be interviewing later in a couple weeks. I can't wait to see you. That'd be awesome. But I 100% agree. That's why I love checking out interesting designs, because as someone who interviews people for the designs, I do see a lot of similarities, and I see a lot of people do the same thing. I made the joke in the very beginning of, like, there's the VTuber cat girls, because that is still a pretty dominant form. There's a lot of those
Mhm.
kind of things. And I know that there's people who say that, oh well, you just copy off this person. There's a difference between copying and being inspired by, because you might
Yeah.
find yourself being inspired by a certain character you've seen. Like for me, like, I like this mask right here, but I never really thought of a VTuber with this mask until I saw a VTuber who had a similar style with it. And I thought it was really cool. So I decided to like have my VTuber kind of based off of that mask looking kind of thing. Now,
Mm.
obviously, I'm going to be very different. I'm going to have a more of a unique design, and that's why I'm really hoping I can actually progress my VTuber as a different, unique design. But also, keep in mind that it's not just the design. A VTuber is more than just the design. It's the personality that goes into it as well. So even if
Mhm.
someone might be pretty similar, they might have a completely different kind of vibe when they make their streams and their
Mhm.
content creation. So if someone like, oh well, you just copy out that person, it's like, oh well, that person streams Valorant, and I do art streams.
Yeah.
It's kind of
And
like
that's where the differentiation can be.
exactly. So that's why I think, like, I do agree that everyone can be unique and different. And I've had interviewed people with very basic designs, and they're the most funnest people in the world to hang out with. And I always think that they're really cool. But then there's some people who have really unique, different, crazy designs, and they're so bland and boring to talk to. And it's like, come on, guys, you have a really cool design. Portray it. Any like kind of situation. So like I think it's really cool. But it also depends on the person. I will
Mhm.
say that if you see someone similar, don't just assume they're copying off someone. It could be inspired by them. And before you judge anything, at least watch some of their content. Like watch what they do. If they literally both have the same color palette, both have the same like theme as like they're both cat girls, and they both stream the same game, then you might want to draw a little comparisons and be like, okay, what's going on here? But usually that is pretty rare. A lot of people don't want to do that. Like one thing
Mhm.
I really don't want people to do is that I don't want people to feel like they can't stream a certain character just because someone else does it better. I've had
Yeah.
so many friends who want to stream as a shark VTuber, and they love the stream of shark VTubers. That's their favorite character. But they can't because they're afraid that it's going to be copied as like Shy Lily or Gura, like those kind of
Yeah.
characters. And they're afraid to be the character they want to be. And I tell them that as long as you are unique in some way and you stream content that is very dictated to your style of content creation, you shouldn't have to worry about the way you look.
Exactly.
I won't say their name, but Trick had one interview with a wet blanket. What? I had a wet blanket. What? Hey, I interviewed so many VTubers, I don't remember. Wet blanket.
Wet blanket.
Wet blanket. I don't remember. You have to send me the link. Send me a link of my interview I did with him. Wet blanket meaning someone who is bland and boring and lame. Oh yes, I have interviewed a couple of those, which, you know, this is why I do research on my VTuber interviews before I reach out to them, because I've learned the hard way that you can't just ask anyone to come on my show, because some of them are really, really boring or very controversial. Like, I don't mind having some controversy, some like sauce, like spicy topics on my end, but I really need to watch out what kind of things they like to talk about, because I've had to delete a lot of my VODs and interviews right afterwards because we talked about something that really shouldn't be talked about on a Twitch basis. Yeah.
Hmm?
Yeah. We don't have to talk about that part. But anyway, Husky says, heck, you can have a unique design, but still get accused of copying someone off an idea alone, even if that's not the case. And I think that's just people being on the internet, just being trolls, or like being like very like misinformed, or have a weird mindset. Because I have seen that too. Seen like what there was that I think I saw an argument, and like I think he handled it perfectly. But there's a guy named Desync, who's like a really creative like design, and I really love his design aspect. But someone like made fun of him or something like that on a Twitch rant or something. I can't remember. But it was just someone saying that his like he copied off the anime girl that he took from the internet and said that they copied off of someone else, and he was like, this was a free asset that anyone can use, and I just added eyeballs onto her. That's all I did. So like, if you think I'm copying off that person, you can copy off that person too. Like, I'm not doing anything like stealing of that person. I'm just adding a character design and adding my own twist to that person, which I feel like is not bad. But what do you think? Well, let me explain. Let me explain first before you do that, because I need to give you context. Desync is a black character. When I mean black, I mean like it's a completely blackout silhouette of a character, and really what makes him unique is that he takes eyeballs and puts on different characters. So he will be like a gun, he will be like the kitchen sink, he will be a little squid or a little crab monster, and that's kind of what his style is. He's just a random jumble of like, he's kind of like a Ditto. Think of him as a Ditto. He's just a Ditto character. You know, he's like an ink Ditto character, and because, you know, he just wants to be funny, and he's a hilarious person, by the way. He will take an anime girl with big booba, put his eyes on it, and like, look, I have become anime girl, you know? So he just takes a free asset of some black silhouetted character, smacked boobs on her, and 2 eyeballs, and look, now he's just an anime girl with big boobs. But people were criticizing him because that black silhouette character is based off another anime character, and they thought that they're using that character and like pretty much claiming it as their own. And like there's that like kind of like idea of like, well, that's technically not his work. He's just taking like free assets online and slapping his stuff on it. But if there's free assets online where there's no like, I think the only thing he actually really bought was the eyes themselves, and anything else he's been using free assets on. But what's your opinion on the fact that like someone can use a free asset, make it unique and different, and then still be considered as like a copy? Hi, Steve.
I mean, I guess so. In that case, it seems like that is their concept, like being like a Ditto.
Yeah.
And so I think that, I mean, that may be a little bit harder and, you know, quote unquote controversial to portray, depending on what things they decide to like slap the eyes on and stuff, like you were saying. But I think they're not copying because it's a concept. It's not like they're like, hey, this character is me, right? If it's like the black silhouette and it's like, actually, this is, you know, I am actually this character, but this character is actually me. In the same way, like, oh, if you saw a Ditto and you're like, oh, hey, it's a Pikachu, and you're like, Ditto. It's literally what Ditto is supposed to do. Ditto copies. And then the whole funny thing is that it's a copy, but it looks silly.
It looks silly. And that's kind of what he is. And I'm gonna show you. His Twitter right now, so you can kind of get an idea of what he looks like. Like his model is literally just like the eyes, and that's what he's really well known for. And if you scroll down, you'll see that he's just like eyes. But sometimes you will see this little anime girl popped up with it too. It's really just known for the eyes. And while you do that, I want to go back into some things people said.
Oh.
Yeah. Trick had put the interview on his back. Yeah, there's sometimes when you are doing an interview session and the person just answers like yes or no questions and very limited on what they say. As the host, you have to bring out the interview a little more and ask those questions. So yeah, I know the feels, but my back was sore a couple days. There's white stuff in her hair. I'm pretty sure you're talking about just a little like springs of stars, which is I think is actually a really good touch. Hey Zeal, it's great to see you, friend. It's great to see you. We'll do the spin in 1 second. I feel this can fall under the same category of VTubers getting called copycats of other VTubers, despite the fact the model in question is pre-made of anyone who to use, which I think is not really fair either. Like if someone is using a pre-used model, they shouldn't be judged by the person who usually made it, you know. But also, I know that some people get really like offended off of like someone selling a model that's known for someone else, and then when they use it, all the fans is like, wait, wouldn't you this person? That's why like selling models is really a touchy subject, in my opinion.
So I think it's like I said, where that is their brand. They're a copycat VTuber, but some like their concept to me and their content is just completely unique through and through.
Exactly, right? I
So
think it's
I
really
don't.
cool. But
That's
I've
their
seen some
brand.
people.
They're not.
Yeah, I agree. But that there was some controversy with the fact that like because of that anime model he uses when he puts all this stuff on it was a copy of something he got on a free asset, people gave him smack for it, which I feel like is not fair.
It's also a free asset.
Yeah.
So it's like, and it's like, what if they don't have the funds to like go as far as they want to go with a custom model? Because there's
Well,
a lot of things you could do as a copycat YouTuber
uh-huh.
as with a custom model. But if they can't do that, you have to get creative. And I think this is very creative. And there's still, I don't know what asset this is, but it looked unique to me, so I
That's what I was
wouldn't
saying.
know if someone had this asset. I don't, and I saw them side by side, I would think that they were two different things.
You know what? And to be honest, he could like I when I first interviewed, he first showed me that like anime girl asset, and I think it was the first time showing it off. And looking at some of the new ones, he might have actually commissioned a more legit model with that as the inspiration of that kind of model. So he might have actually added more to it to make it more unique to him. And if he actually did pay for that like upgrade, then he just now just got the rights to have that style, you know, to it. So it kind of changes up a
Yeah.
little bit. But yeah, and also like it's the same thing with like if you add certain things. Like what if you got my glasses on your model, and I called you out and said, hey, those are my glasses. You cannot use my glasses. You know, it's kind of the same
No.
way. It's like adding
Yeah.
these kind of basic
Someone's
stuff on there.
inspired.
Exactly, inspiration is what I like.
It's like how much of it is inspiration, though. That's what you got to look at.
And I agree with
And
that.
I also feel like even if you are taking inspiration, like depending on what it is, you could still put your own unique twist on it. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Because I've definitely seen like people with like people do cutouts on their shirt all the time, but my spin on it was that it looked like a star, like a shooting star. It's
Yeah.
like the star, and then it rounds out because it's like the trail of a shooting star. That was my unique concept or spin on it, you know. So
Mhm.
even if you do find something inspirational, I just always want to encourage people to try and put your own spin on it, because
Mhm.
that's just innovation. That's just the way that kind of thing works.
And keep in mind that VTubing is a art form. Like it is
Yeah.
an art. The design you have is art. Art has been going through so many different stages all throughout life. It's really hard to be original with when it comes to a lot of art. And VTubing
Mm-hmm.
is definitely based off of different things. You know, you
Mm-hmm.
are an anime character. You are based off an anime style. So it's going to have some inspiration on some of those kind of characters. You can't say the like, oh well, you were inspired by Sailor Moon. Aren't you just copying off Sailor Moon? It's like, no, I'm inspired by it. I like the design of it. So it kind of like
Yeah.
it kind of gets that. But again, like you said before, there is a like a level to that. You know, like if you literally like stream the same thing, act the same way, have the same color scheme, have the same like animal tendency, and only thing you changed was like literally glasses with a mustache added to it, there's going to be some controversial conversations with that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I agree 100%. I agree with that, and that's actually a really good topic. Thank you so much for getting into that discussion with me. I like that. That's really good. But
Thank you for asking the question.
of course, I always have fun with these kind of things. Like these kind of like because I have noticed there's definitely different levels of like people have different feels when it comes to the community of VTubing. Like usually the people who are just brand new, who just started within a year, they love the community because of how welcoming they are. They love how supportive they are. But then I will talk to VTubers who's been in the community as a partner for years, and they have a lot more of a darker like tone when it comes to the community because they have more time to like talk about them, and they do treat newer VTubers a lot different than the ones on the higher ups. I feel like, like the schoolyard table, like if you're new to the school,
Mhm.
hey, you're a freshman, hey, you guys are awesome, welcome, but don't go sit at the big kids tables. You don't want to sit at the popular kids tables because then you have to act a certain way,
Mhm.
that situation. So that's why I'm just noticing that VTubers have different styles depending on how long they've been working with the streaming career.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
yeah, Zeal, I'm sorry that you had to deal with being accused of stealing. I love your design. Your style is actually really cool. I like the aspect of like it kind of representation of like the Dragon Ball Z kind of like feel to it. I think this is really cool. Um, but I do have a spin for you. So really quick. We have a
Mhm.
spin from Zeal who would like to ask a question for you. So before you go take your shower, definitely hear out this answer from this amazing question. So let's see what the question will be. And that is pretty basic, but I like it still. What kind of music do you like to listen to?
Um, I like a lot of EDM, like
EDM?
any kind of
Okay.
electronic, hyper pop, that kind of stuff. My that is another thing too. Like when you listen to my like 1.0 theme, it's very elegant orchestral, but this new one is more EDM. It has electric guitars in it. Completely different thing, but that kind of music is mostly the kind of music I listen to. I mean, I listen to all kinds of music, but that's the main music I like.
Her edgy phase. She's going through her edgy
Edgy
phase. Edgy
phase.
phase. She's going through edgy. I'd love to see your monster form. I'd love to see a monster. That'd be kind of cool. That'd be awesome. Cool. Next question for you, and these are just going to be like when you first started out. Okay, so keep in
Hmm.
mind of how you started. Okay, what have you
Hmm.
noticed when you first started streaming compared to now, and the quality you produce now?
Um, was what changes have I noticed since I first started streaming? Um, I gotta think. I'm thinking.
No worries, no worries. Think all you want. Use your antenna to find your answers with your internet.
Oh yeah, I'm putting out radio waves to
Yep.
give me the answer. Um, so I've noticed there's just a ton of different things that you can do with your stream. Like having videos play, having little like mini events. Like I did a dance party redeem for my stream, and just also the innovation that people continue to do in the VTuber community. I think that's probably the biggest change, like how
Mm.
far um rigging has come, and like how far I've come to like going through the different changes of what my streaming and content looks like. That's probably the biggest change. Because I liked VTubing and I liked playing video games, and the idea of streaming was cool to me, but I don't think I knew exactly how I wanted to go about it. So I definitely tried a bunch of different things um, over the past 3 years of like consistently trying to be a streamer. Um, but yeah, I think that's probably the biggest change. Because you get to have a lot of fun with your stream. You could just do whatever you want and make sure that chat can be as interactive with you as you can.
I agree. I think that's actually really, really good. And I like the interactions with people. I think that's really cool. I feel like treating myself to Wendy's. I want a Wendy's. Oh my god, that sounds good right now. Freaking just realized how hungry I am.
Spicy nuggets,
Oh,
spicy Wendy's nuggets are really
dude,
good.
I'm so hungry. Oh my god. Okay, well, I know what I'm going to eat after the stream. But no, I do agree with that kind of style of thing. Like it's cool to know like what kind of options you can do as time goes on. And I think that's the cool thing about technology and the VTuber community space is that as time goes on, you will see them add more and cool features that people get into. Like
Mhm.
recently, there's the whole lean aspect where people can lean into the camera as a VTuber, and
Yeah.
that's really
Yeah,
cool.
that's the new one. Mhm.
So I think it's really cool when, as time goes on, you can do that. I think the V Bridger, where your mouth can like move to the side like this,
Oh yeah,
it's
I want to
really
get
cool,
V-Bridger. Yeah.
right? So I think that's actually really
Super
cool.
expressive.
It's super expressive, and I love that because I'm a very expressive person. Like when I talk and stuff like that, I'm usually really expressive. And I mentioned it
Mhm.
in the beginning that there's a lot of non-verbal things you kind of want to do when you stream to kind of give out that like feel to it, you know. And then VBridger can do that. So I love how technology has increased the kind of creativity that VTubers can produce as time goes on. So I like it. I like, and as you probably went from like a very like characterized kind of personality to like just be yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
I like it. I like it. Cool. Awesome. Next question for you, and this is gonna be all the like little fun facts ones. So stay tuned
Okay.
for some just fun facts. It could be still
Okay.
controversial though, so we'll see how it goes. Like here's something that I'll judge you very harshly on. What's
Mm.
your favorite video game franchise?
So, favorite video game is Hollow Knight. Video game franchise, probably Pokemon.
Cool. I agree. I agree. This is really
Pokemon.
good.
Like Hollow Knight is the game that made me start getting into other games. Like
That
outside of just FPS games, Hollow Knight was my introduction to holy heck, there are other games out there.
I love that. That's a good feeling because I know when I was growing up, like indie games were not really that popular because if it wasn't from a respected company that you knew about, you wouldn't want to really get into it. You wouldn't want to buy it. But
Exactly.
now that
Yeah.
bigger companies have been getting really tainted with toxicity with their practices, people have been trying to
Mhm.
find different ways to get their gaming feel. And indie market
Mhm.
is the best way because you get that feel of that love they put into their games, and it's
Yeah.
so great to see them get rewarded. I love seeing indie games get rewarded for their hard work because it's sometimes just literally just one guy in the basement making a game, and now he's doing better job, better quality than like some of the big AAA tile games that came out year after year after year. So it's really cool.
Yeah, I think Baldur's Gate. I know it's not like
Right.
it's not small, but I know the company's not like big. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
definitely not in any of the big ones, but Baldur's Gate kind of came out of left field and just took everyone. Like it has
I
such a big
love it. I
community.
love it. It's so good. It's so good. I love how like Baldur's Gate became the staple of how quality of games should be. And I love how all these other
Mhm.
bigger companies is like, hey, don't expect us to be this good. This is the outliner. And it's like, no, this should be the like standard. You should be that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
That. So I love that. I really hope Baldur's Gate, like unfortunately Larian Studios is not going to make a Baldur's Gate 4 and they're going to work on something else, which I will definitely
Mhm.
support them no matter what they make nowadays. But I'm
Mhm.
also kind of bummed out that they are going to make a Baldur's Gate 4, just not with Larian Studios, which I'm kind of
Mhm.
worried about because yeah. Wizards of the Coast is not known for being very caring for their fans. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Big companies do not like taking risks. Indies can afford it. True. And the risks they like to pull off has like a lot of research. That's why a lot of like big companies try and go for the mobile market because they look in China and they see how much money and revenues bring in. Like we can do that. And it's like, but you made Mass Effect. You made like Battlefield.
Oh,
Like, come on,
it's that
you guys can do
game makes me
something.
so
I
sad.
love Mass Effect. I just really wish they do a good job with 4. I really hope they do a good job with 4. Ah, I miss my old favorite franchises because like I used to love a lot of really good franchises, but the companies
Mhm.
behind them nowadays don't make that great of games anymore, unfortunately. Unfortunately. Um, but anyway, let's get to another question that we have for you, which is another spin from Zeal. Zeal wants to like to ask you another question. So let's do it.
Okay. All right. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Already. And basement, I know what you're talking about. No, no VTubers in basements. Don't listen to it. Don't listen to it. There's no basement VTubers. Favorite joke? Do you have a favorite like dumb joke?
Favorite the horn horse thing.
just the
That's
fact
my
that you.
favorite joke. It's just like I think it's so funny how like it catches on. Like even people who aren't like my friends, like people I talk to on a daily basis, like if it's someone that I like mildly interact with or someone who knows me and I pop into their stream and they're like, "Oh, it's Azure Light, the Horn Horse." I'm like, "Oh my god."
Ah!
Like when it sticks, I'm like it makes me so happy. So it's definitely my favorite joke, especially because my community only refers to me as a Horn Horse now. They're
I
like, "Oh,
love
it's
it.
my favorite horse." I'm like, "Yes, that is me.
That is me. I
I
am the
am the
horn
Horn
horse.
Horse."
I love it. I love it. Pizza the Hut. Yes, true. But no, I like that as like a running joke with you, your friends, and the communities. You just the horn horse. It's the horn horse.
Mhm.
That's it. I love it. I love it. That's a good joke. That's a good joke. I love that. Like, I think some of the best jokes are the ones that wasn't planned and your community comes up for you.
Exactly.
Do
Yes.
you have any inside jokes or any other kind of things you have with your community that only you and your community will know?
So there are you don't really see it anymore. I should have put them up, but sometimes like in my just chatting streams, if something funny happens, I'll take it like on stream, I'll take a screenshot. And I used to have this like little area in the corner of my stream on my just chatting screen that would have little screenshots of all of these different events that happen. So like I have one where like my VTuber model loaded in and I was super stretched out and wide. I took a screenshot of that. We were talking about sharks one time and someone told me to look up a dogfish shark and I said, "Wow, look at this one. He looks really stupid." And we're like, "We should keep him. Let's name him Billy." And I'm like, "Okay." And so he's up there now. Kala came on my stream and I put her in a PNG of what I thought was what's a cocktail sauce, but it was ketchup. So now that is a thing too.
Cali and
What was
cocktail
another
sauce.
thing?
Actually, I love see what Cali would be with ketchup. That'd be funny.
Right? What calamari would taste? Yeah, I don't know, but she was offended that I put her in ketchup. And then I think one of the most recent ones is I got a PNG of Usher's head and I put it on my face with
You-
like my ball toggle. So it was just Usher with a horn.
Usher with
And
a
so that
horn.
was another picture. But I really like that. Like I'll take little screenshots of funny things that happen on stream and then it's just a little billboard of these little moments that we've all had together.
I love it. I love it. I want to do that for me because I have some moments like that on my streams and on my thing. Like everyone knows the story with the couch. This is definitely a story with the couch.
That sounds ominous. Is it this
You don't
couch?
want, yeah.
Is it the couch that I'm sitting on? Do I need to move?
No, you're fine.
No,
Nothing to worry about the
okay.
stream. You have nothing to worry about the couch. The couch is fine. There's nothing weird
I
about
hope
it.
this couch got a deep cleaning.
Guys, chat, don't talk about it. Cool, yeah. And like, I just love it. I love the inside jokes what communities come up with. Because like, again, that's the inside joke with the couch. It's also an inside joke with the duck. And that was also a really good one too. But also, I just love the joke that like my name Tricko, people think is something to do with Trico, and I've been called Trico so many times. I'm like, I didn't even play that Pokemon game. How do you guys connect the dots? No, I'm a ghost type lover. I don't like grass type really. But yeah, no. I love inside jokes. I think they're really great. I think they're really great. But yeah, we don't talk about the couch though.
We don't talk about the couch.
And she does not have any white stuff in her hair. Look at those are stars. Stars. It has nothing to do with the couch. Nothing to do with the couch. I like to say I got my name off a box of Cracker Jacks. What? It's true. Zeal, you had your name off Cracker Jack box? Huh. Okay, I thought you said you got your name off Cracker. I was like, what? What kind of Cracker Jack box are you eating that has Zeal in it? I feel like it's not healthy. You probably shouldn't do that. I got it from Chrono Trigger, which I know you like Chrono Trigger, which is a really good game. Can we get a remaster for Chrono Trigger, please? Please?
Pretty please.
Because I've always wanted to try it, but it's so old and dated that I feel like I would have a really hard time playing it. But if they did remaster, even if they just did a remaster, like they kept the same gameplay, but just made it a little bit more like modernized, I would be so down to play it. Just want to see it. Come on. Nintendo, just make it. Just make it happen. Just make it happen. Well, one of Trico's evolutions is a particularly dark type, but no, I don't want dark type. I want ghost type. Ghost type. If I have a dark type, it would be an Umbreon. That's my type.
Umbreon is best.
Umbreon
Indeed.
is great, right? I love Umbreon. I love Umbreon and Jolteon. I think those are really cool favorite ones of mine. So for my
Evolution.
evolutions, which is your favorite evolutions, by the way, other than Umbreon? Cat.
Sylveon.
Sylveon's really good. Cat, you can
If
answer
anyone
this too.
says Vaporeon, ban them.
I'm pretty sure Pasta would. Pasta, you would be the kind of person that would like
Ban.
Vaporeon. See, I knew it. I knew it. You would be that kind of person. So I changed my username and I changed it twice. Yes. It's on mobile and DS. Oh, that's actually really cool. Cool. I might do it. I'm actually doing a Nuzlocke Pokemon run right now, and I'm playing
Cool.
Soul Silver, and I'm really enjoying it. But God, freaking my Pokemon keep dying. I'm not that good at the game. I realized that I used to play Pokemon, and when I used to play Pokemon, I used to not care about typings, and I cared about like my Pokemon dying. I just would keep on healing them. But Nuzlocks are so difficult because as soon as they die, they're gone. You gotta worry about it.
Oh, I see.
I had my only ghost type Pokemon as my main person, and he freaking died because I accidentally kept him in, and he got bit, which is a dark type move, and just got destroyed. It sucked. Man, I'm gonna miss him. I'm gonna miss that Pokemon. But honest, my favorite Pokemon is Hoopon. It's Hopon. I can see that. Next question for you.
Mhm.
And that is, if you could live in any video game world, no matter like what the simulations or what's the word, what the stipulations is what I'm trying to say. What anime or game world would you like to live in?
Pokemon.
You would
Or
do that.
Animal Crossing.
That'd be cool. That'd be nice to chill too.
Pokemon because I love Pokemon so much. I think a lot of the anime worlds are scary. Or they're just normal. So I am just like, I think I'd like to live in Pokemon or Animal Crossing because in Animal Crossing I can live with a bunch of super cute, sweet neighbors
Aw.
and just build stuff and shake trees and grow
Own a
crops
house.
and terraform the land and make mountains and part the Red Sea. No,
Oh.
but yeah, so I think Animal Crossing or Pokemon, which honestly almost feels like a cop out, but the Pokemon world is so diverse. Like each game has its own. It's just a completely different world, honestly. So I think Pokemon would be really fun to explore.
Me too.
And
I would
live
like
in.
that. And just to have a companion that will always be with you no matter what. I love that. That's so cool. It'd be so cool. Cool. Next question is actually Deal's question. She's hitting you with all the spins today.
I got the spins.
Got the spins. But yeah, I want to live in the Pokemon world too. I would like to be a Pokemon master. Be cool. Do you watch any YouTubers on your free time?
I do. I already mentioned him once, but I will mention him again. Corey X Kenshin. He is the only YouTuber that I have watched consistently for the past 5 to 6 years.
Wow.
I've watched every single one of his videos, and I have rewatched them multiple times. I have never found anyone that is like him. He is the perfect balance of like humble and respectful, and his content can be catered to like a younger audience or an older audience. He is really good at games and he plays horror games. He plays other games too, like a lot of the AAA games, but he plays a lot of horror games and he's really good at them and it's really funny. Like he is a rare gem, and I feel like he is big. Like I want to say he has like 18 million subscribers now, but it's still him and his community still feels so small. In the same way I feel about Hollow Knight, because Hollow Knight is actually quite big. Like it definitely blew up from it being the small indie game that it was. It came out on the Switch and then it kind of blew up. But it's like people don't talk about it, or in this case, don't talk about Corey X Kenshin as much as I hear people talk about like Markiplier, you know? And Markiplier is quite big, but I think Corey is definitely up on that. But it's just like the community is still very intimate, which I really like. you know?
And I agree with that 100%. And I think that's actually really cool that you have that person you've been watching for a while, and they still feel indie, and they probably just need that
Mm-hmm.
one more game, that one more stream, one more content creation that makes them Markiplier worthy. But also, they might not want that. They might just be
Yeah.
chill with where they are at right now and be really interested. So I think
Mm-hmm.
that'd be actually really cool just to be like that. I know for me personally, I never want to be Markiplier big. Don't want to be that kind of big. I want to be able to enjoy the things I like to do, keep doing the things I want to do, and have a community that likes to watch me. And it's
Yeah,
pretty much it.
exactly.
Pretty much it. So definitely, and this actually is a great segue to our next question, which is if you could collab with any VTuber or other content creators, no matter how big or small they are, who would you like to collab with?
Hmm. Who would I want to collab with? Okay, so I definitely want to play with Corey X Kenshin. Like he seems like a
Oh,
lot of fun to play with because he has done some like a few collabs with his friends, and I think those have been really fun. Oh, another YouTuber I watch, Poofesher. I think
professional.
playing games with him would be really fun too because he's just so chaotic and funny. Which is funny because those are all flesh tubers. I like not any VTubers because like I'm thinking and I'm trying to think of like I don't want to be able like even if I had this opportunity I wouldn't want to collab with someone just to say I collabed with them. Like who do I think that I would actually have fun with? You know, that would have the same appreciation for a game as I would. And those are the two options I can think of.
Mhm. Anyone from Bishojo? Because I feel like you would vibe with some Bishojo people. She just made a horse
Shojo, I
noise.
don't. I yes, sure did. I sure did. I didn't even realize that. Oh my god. Um, Gosh, I don't know. I don't watch as much V Shoujo content. I mean, I guess Iron Mouse. Like she seems very sweet and down to earth, you know, despite how huge she is. And I think it would be fun to like meet her and get to know her and just kind of talk. I think if we did hang out, it would kind of be just to like chat about things.
I think that'd be cool too. I'd be cool just to hang out and just relax with them. Before a stream, before you do anything, just because they're probably just cool, chill, awesome people. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I agree. 100. I can go on. No, I can definitely go on too. 100%. Like those are really good people that I would definitely like to collab with, but more on
Mm-hmm.
the way of like I would let them be on my show. But I don't know if I want
Right.
to hang out with them, so that's why I want to get to know them. That's the
Right.
issue.
Exactly.
Also, you know what? I have a prediction. I'm gonna say this now, and you guys can clip it and post it back later if it actually happens. I feel like the hype for Silk Song is going to outperform most big game companies. So watch. There's gonna be a big game that's gonna come out, like either NFL, Call of Duty, maybe Overwatch 3 or something dumb. And then Silk Song is going to release right next to it. And the big companies think that, oh, it's just a small game. It's not going to out purchase we're just going to release our game right next to it and destroy them like they've done multiple times to other game companies. And Silk Song is going to outperform them, and they're going to go into like the red because of it.
Oh yeah,
Because a lot of big
it's gonna
companies
be
don't
crazy.
expect how big Silk Song is. I'm calling it now. I believe it's going to destroy a big AAA company because they're going to expect that it's not going to be that big, and then they're going to release the game, and they realize that Silk Song is a lot bigger than they expected, and they're going to lose a lot of sales from it.
Mm,
That's how I think.
agreed.
That's how I
I
think.
second this.
Sickness. Agree. Next question for you, and that is, what would you like to accomplish next? What's the big goal you have in your future?
Well, I would really like it would be really great if like because I'm actually kind of moving away from streaming and I think my
Oh,
main content that I'd focus on is YouTube content.
okay.
Like I want to do gaming commentary videos.
Okay, I
Um
like that. I
like
like to see that.
I've started like getting into different gaming commentary YouTubers and it's been really interesting like doing research and looking at their videos, but I like talking about games. That's why I said Hollow Knight really threw me into getting to want to know and play different kinds of games. And me being now more into the indie game scene has like maybe be like, guys, you should look at this. Like, here's what I like about it. Um, more, and it's funny because I approached it from a very technical, like it's just a game review, but I actually want to talk about my experience and like what the caveats of the game, the little hidden things that the developers put in, like, or someone could point it out, maybe something I missed. So I think the gaming commentary and also tied with playthroughs, which playthroughs would be streamed on Twitch so that I can interact with people and we can all enjoy it as a first time experience together, and then I could talk about it more on YouTube. That is where my content is going, and so it would make me so happy if like that could take off just a little bit. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I think that'd be really cool for you, and I think that's gonna be a new path that you can go into. You know, and I think
Mm-hmm.
that'd be really cool to see you do stuff. And the streams I would like to see you do would be like award shows or like presentations, kind of stuff, like, or like
Oh.
Nintendo Directs, and then talk about your opinions on certain things come out. I would love to see you do a live Nintendo Direct, which is coming out in June 21st, I believe. I could be wrong, but I think it's June
Oh.
21st. I would love to see your commentary on that, because who knows, they might announce the new Silk song.
Oh.
I don't know anything about it,
Well,
but
maybe
like,
I will. I never thought about that
yeah,
before.
have some fun.
I wasn't sure. Like people are like, "Oh, I watched this and we talk about it," and I wasn't really
That'd be
sure
really
like
cool. And if you,
why people like that. But maybe I'll give it a
it's might
try.
be fun, maybe fun. If you want to do it by yourself, go for it. If you need a partner in crime to do it, I'm always free to help you out. 'Cause I always love doing
Yes.
those things. Those things are a lot of fun. I love just the commentary part of it. Hit me
Thank
up,
you for
hit
that
me up.
idea. I'd
Of
never thought
course.
about that before.
Of course, do it. Have fun, enjoy yourself, and try new things. That's what it takes to be a content creator. Is have fun, enjoy it,
Mm.
and try new things. Yeah, agree, 100%. And thank you for the clip, by the way, Pasta. I really appreciate it. Cool. Next one we got for you, and I agree, Zeal. AAA companies are meant to collapse in the day and age, but here's the thing: some the AAA companies that we hate right now, used to be companies that we fell in love with before. Ubisoft, EA, Activision. These are companies that we fell in love with back when we were kids, and now they just have a lot of toxic greeting practices that we don't like about them. Maybe one day, Larian Studios, CD Projekt Red, the people who made Hollow Knight, those could be those AAA titles as time goes on that we might going to hate them in the future. Just because as time goes on, new developers, new like heads take control of the IP and they change the way they see things. The original people
Mm-hmm.
who worked on EA's like Battlefield and Mass Effect are not the same ones they did when we loved Mass Effect 1 and 2. They're completely different people. So just keep that
Mm-hmm.
in mind. But we need to realize that hands change, people come and go. Rareware isn't even the same Rareware from the 90s. Agreed. That's what I'm saying. Is that like we might really enjoy the companies right now. We're like, I love From Software. From Software makes really great games. But eventually there's going to be a time when the heads will change. They'll have different ideas of what they want From Software to be. And we as gamers need to voice our opinions and make sure they stay to the standards they should be so that they stay on a good level. And if they don't, then we just need to vote with our wallets and not support those kind of things. So that's the main thing that's really like keeping them from keep on doing these greedy stuff, is that we keep buying it. We keep rewarding them. Even though we'll talk bad about them, we'll still keep buying their games, which is what
Mm-hmm.
we need to stop doing. And I feel like
Yeah.
gamers nowadays are more powerful than they've ever been, because game practices really are not doing a good job right now. There's a lot of companies and games that are really doing terrible for bigger heads, and they're starting to realize that they can't just release a game and hope it does well. Call of Duty's been doing that, Skull and Bones didn't do very well, and Suicide Squad. All these games, if it was back in the day, will probably do a lot better because they can just release whatever they want and gamers will play it. But now we have more voices and we can actually say, hey, these games are doing terrible practices and we don't like that. We can actually shut them down before they get really greedy. Sorry, I went on a little rant
with
on that.
oh my god, Helldivers.
Yep, Helldivers almost fell because of a decision PlayStation trying to make it. The communities kind of raised up and actually was able to like counteract it. But now like Sony's still doing some kind of iffy stuff right now. Like, they're pretty much saying that, yeah, we're not going to block anyone, but now instead of like blocking the people from like using the PlayStation account, now they're just removing certain countries to be able to play the game in general. So it still doesn't really fix the problem. You just remove the problem and the solution. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I know there might be some weird things going on with that, but I agree 100%. I love that fans and communities, gamers do have more voice and more power than they used to have when we were kids. When something was bad when we were kids, we were just like, oh well, shoot, I'm just probably not gonna buy that next game or something like that. Oh, hope it gets better next year, kind of situation. I used to do that a lot. I would like play like a Call of Duty game and just hoping that, oh man, this game kind of sucks. It doesn't have this really cool feature I like. Hopefully they put it back in the next game. But now
Mm-hmm.
we can actually just say that, hey, this is a terrible thing. You should not do this. And if you try and do this again, I'm just not gonna buy your game. You know,
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. We like Blizzard that Mike Barney ran. Not today. Agreed. Blizzard's definitely not what they used to be. Definitely not what they used to be. But let's get on to the last question of the night. Are you ready?
Yes. Yes. Hit
Awesome.
me. Hit
I
me.
love this question, my favorite question of all, and that is, what advice do you have for those who might want to get into streaming / VTuber?
Um, take some time to figure out what you want to do.
Mhm.
Because just like there are plenty of different games for different kinds of people, there are plenty of different ways for you to get into content creation and streaming and VTubing. Like it took me forever to figure out that maybe streaming 100% is not for me and does not fit who I am, right? Um don't spend a lot of money on a debut and a model until you really feel confident in like your design and your concept, and even like, and some people just say if you're not 100% sure about VTubing, you shouldn't like spend any money. But I feel like with any hobby, you invest and then you find out that it's not for you. So if you want to, go the whole full mile and try out VTubing, you can try it out for a lower cost. You could get free assets, free models, or you could spend money and, get a moving 2D VTuber and have a whole debut and go the full mile and try it out and figure out it's not for you. I don't think there's any shame in going either direction. Um, but just don't feel like you have to rush into it just because people say that market is saturated. It is saturated, but it will help if you understand yourself before you try to go into the industry, because you will get lost and it will be hard on you, and we don't want that. We don't want you to feel discouraged from trying something out because it feels inaccessible. So just be patient with yourself. Take the time to think about, okay, what do I want to do with this hobby? Like, for example, like I want to get into, I think it's crocheting or it's
Oh,
knitting, but it's like, why? Well, I want to make cute plushies.
I want to make
You know
cute
what I mean?
plushies.
So
I
it's
love
like,
that. That's a good
I want to
answer.
make cute plushies. So I'm going to invest to, then find like maybe some those like kits, right? Where they
Mhm.
teach you how to make a specific thing. Before I, go and buy a bunch of yarn and try to just make whatever. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
think that's my biggest word of advice, coming from someone who went through all that stuff.
I agree 100%. Like when you get into something, you do have to put commitment and energy and time into something and resources. And you like there is a lot of free assets to try it. I definitely think that if you are interested, definitely try it out, and you can go as free as possible. But as time goes on, you have to progress your quality. You got to keep getting better. Like same what I tell to just regular streamers is that, hey, you can just go into streaming. That's fine, but you eventually, if you want to get better and get a little more high quality, you have to get a better camera, get a better mic, maybe get 2 screens set up so you have more room to do your stuff. Maybe add
Mhm.
some like sound words, maybe put some more quality in the backgrounds, maybe be more talkative in your streams. Like these are things that you want to invest in your quality. And like, oh well, I'm just gonna be free forever, which if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But I do recommend maybe like investing in your hobby a little bit more.
Exactly.
Okay, I agree. 100%. Cool. Well, hey, that's all of my questions I have for you. Thank you so much for answering every single one of my questions. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Those are great questions. Thank you
Aw,
so much.
thank you. I love asking these questions, and they all have the different stories behind them. So I really love it, and I love it because every single question has been the same since I first started, but I get different responses and different outcomes. Some of them are similar, some a little bit, but they always have unique twists to them, and that's why I love asking. Just like VTubers. my questions are just like VTubers. They might be
Actions.
similar, but they might have a different twist to them. I like it. And then VQ, it's great to see you. I hope you feel better soon. Hope you feel soon. And we will end that off with a nice stretch. So let's all get a nice stretch in. Thank you guys all so much. Do you guys have any final questions? Do you guys have any final spins you want to do before we end off the stream? And also, I always like to give my guests the first opportunity of the raid. Where do you want to send this raid to?
Oh, right. Oh.
Yeah, I always give my guests the first opportunity.
Okay. I have a VTuber. I don't know if you've seen them, but you could definitely interview them too. Their name is Cupache. Have you heard of them before?
I don't know. I might have to see a picture of them.
I should give you the Twitch at. I don't know why. But they have. We were talking about rigging. Oh my gosh, innovations, and they actually have a model that has trackable hands.
Ooh. They have hand tracking.
Yeah, as a 2D VTuber, and I think that's really cool. And she's super bubbly and high energy, and her concept and lore and design is really cool. So that is, I think that'd be cool too to rate them.
I don't know if her icon is different than what her actual stream looks like, but she looks really nice. It has like cat ears, white hair. It has looks like antlers on behind it. Looks really cool. All right, cool. We'll definitely go give her a shot. We'll definitely give her a amazing raid. But first, where can people find you, Azir? Where
Twitch?
can people check her out and her amazing content? Because she deserves to be looked at.
And YouTube for when I eventually put out a YouTube video, but YouTube for sure, Twitch for sure. I am, in terms of social media, I'm mostly active on Twitter.
Cool.
But I do have an Instagram and a TikTok. But Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, those are the big three.
Go. Definitely go check it out. I want to see amazing stuff from you, so can't wait to see you grow as a content creator. It's gonna be great.
I will try.
Thank you again so much for coming on my show. I really appreciate seeing you. Thank you guys all in chat for coming on and chilling with us. We really appreciate it. Go check her out because she definitely deserves it. If you guys have not yet, you guys also give me a follow. I do these each and every week where we interview a brand new VTuber. So if you want to get to know someone new, you can also hit me up. But until then, thank you guys all so much for joining in. We're going to actually raid Cappuccino. She sounds French.
Oh, pasta is a question. Oh, what do I think the couch is about?
Oh,
I don't know.
Well,
is it a strange substance on the couch? Did something happen to the couch? Is maybe?
Does it look familiar to you? Does it look familiar? Maybe you've seen it somewhere.
Is it a casting couch?
So that's it for us today. Thank you guys so much for joining in. You guys are all awesome. I will see you guys next time. Let's give our raids amazing. So definitely give a amazing raid. I told you not know this was a casting couch when I first got the asset for it. So anyway. Don't leave this.
Thank you so much.
Don't leave Discord, okay? Bye bye everyone. Bye bye guys. Take care. Bye bye.